everybody, it's Torrie, the founder of the Mighty Dames, and I am joined here by Char Dixon. This is a little different this time. I decided, well, let me change that. I didn't decide, you guys decided for me that we wanted to bring the Dames outside of Florida. And to do that, we're gonna do a couple of seminars. Our first stop is in North Carolina, and I knew I needed someone to be here with me. And I'm just saying, your name came up a lot that like you need to get Char in here. So why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Of course, my name is Char Dixon. I am a GFT black belt under David Diaz, GFT DC. I've been training for a little over 10 years at this point. I just got my black belt in December, and we're ready to rock on in 2024 to see what this black belt does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm excited.
So since you're like a new black belt, I love to ask new black belts, like, what does it, first of all, did you ever think this day would come?
When I was like a blue belt, it was like a far off like dream. I never saw it. I knew I would get there, but it was like a billion years away at that point.
Yeah.
Then when I got my brown belt, I was like, oh, it's coming.
I'm not gonna lie. So I got my brown belt in December too. And as soon as I had this moment where I walked into class. I walked into class like the day after we had a seminar going on. I was like, oh crap, am I an upper belt now? Like, are they gonna start coming to me with like deeper questions? Because like I don't want that. Please
You
don't.
get all the questions now. And all the beat downs. You got a target now.
And I have a school full of just like murderers. So like this belt means nothing to them. I'm still getting like this demolished by 20-year-old blue belt. So I'm like, I'm glad to have it, but yeah, so you said you've been going about 10 years. What got you into jiu-jitsu?
Oh man, I knew you were gonna ask that question. It's a long story.
It's the default question.
I was a boxer in a past life. I started boxing in high school. I boxed in college and off and on. I took a 5-year break, got a career, did the whole grown-up thing, and then came back to boxing and tore cartilage in my hip. I tore the labrum in my hip. So I've had hip surgery. Like I came into jiu-jitsu damaged. And jiu-jitsu is so adaptable that I was able to keep training. I was able to switch to jiu-jitsu and keep up the training that we had been doing, because I was gonna try to go for golden gloves.
Okay.
And then I just never went back. We figured out what was wrong with my hip. I got my hip fixed, and I didn't realize how much fun I wasn't having getting hit in the face every day, like strikers. that is on you guys.
It's absolutely insane that people like. I love to watch it, but every single time, I'm like, just right, like they're hitting you, and if not your face,
it makes
your
my
body.
neck hurt. I'm like,
So you are a boxer.
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of like boxers who come over into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it was just because it was so adaptable with my injury, and it took the doctors like 12 months to figure out what was actually wrong with my hip.
Oh wow.
At first they thought I broke my hip because I couldn't walk. They thought my hip was broken. And then they thought my muscles were doing something weird and pulling the joint apart.
Okay.
And then they thought that there was something wrong with the tendons and the ligaments. And then they finally did an MRI with contrast, and like, oh, the labrum's torn. I was like, okay.
What is it about doctors that will like wait? So like, I feel like no one wants to do an MRI.
I blame the insurance. My insurance told me I had to have 6 months of physical therapy before they let me have an MRI.
Really?
And I was like, what am I doing physical therapy on? We don't know what's wrong.
Yep. Like, and honestly, like it probably costs them more to do all that physical. Just get the
right.
Look,
just do the image.
We could talk about insurance companies on here when it comes to injuries, because like, ooh.
Right. A lot of us have a lot of experience.
Oh my God. Okay. So you're boxing, bam, bam, hurt your hip. Okay, let's try this jujitsu thing. Turns out you're pretty good at it. You kind of like it. 10 years later, you're a black belt.
Yeah.
Does it still feel kind of does it still feel kind of surreal to you tie your belt on in the class, you're like, I'm a black belt?
I keep trying to go to the line Like we line up by belt, and I like find myself on the wall, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong side.
You
I
know what?
still
What's her Maggie Torres down in Texas. We were talking about this and she said the same thing, like realizing that like I mean it makes sense if you had 10 years of lining up one way and now you're supposed to be looking at other people like, oh, never mind.
shit.
That's it's the little things that require
Yeah,
adjustments in this sport.
yeah,
Okay. So like I said, so we're gonna do a seminar together. You're doing gi, correct?
yes.
All right. So do you prefer gi to no gi?
I definitely prefer gi to no gi. I do no gi for funsies. I've
For
always kind
fun.
of done no gi for fun.
Okay.
Um, if I'm doing like an open, I'll do both gi and no gi divisions
Okay.
just to
Get
make
it.
it like
Yeah.
worth the $100 and the travel. But I prefer the gi.
Okay.
It's more to
So,
more to hold on to.
so you like to torture yourself in a hot box. Okay, that makes
I
sense.
like to torture other people and strangle them with their clothing.
You know, we have pans coming here in March, and
Mhm.
it's the biggest thing they have in Florida. So I last year I switched over to a pedagogue school, which is it's a no-gi academy. And
Yeah.
so I had a year of I haven't I put a gi on for the first time last week, and that was the first time since like a competition in July. So I hadn't had a gi on for 7 months. And let me tell you, first, I was elated how much better my takedowns instantly became now that I had these grips. And then I remembered how horrifying it is if someone is on top of you and their gi opens up and you're just in this death inferno, just when I tried to take my first breath and I could literally feel like the moisture from the gi coming with me, I was like, yeah, I think I'm a no-gi person now. I think I have seen the light. It is it's an adjustment to go back. It really was.
I switched schools a little over a year ago, year and a half ago, from a school that was like he was like 70% nogi on most
Mhm,
weeks. He had like some kind of rotating schedule.
mhm.
Um and it was just I needed to find a school that had more gi. And
Yeah.
then I went when I go back to that school for nogi open mats because we're still good friends. I'm still considered
Mhm,
part of the family over there.
mhm.
And I hate it. I'm like, everybody's so slippery. I can't, my
It
guard passes don't work the same.
like
Please get your foot off my face. Like,
that was me. That was me my first couple when I switched to the new gym. I was like, why are they so fast? And I thought I was like, well, clearly they're athletic here. But I was like, there's no reason they should be this fast. And then I got back in the gear. I was like, yeah, compression when it's sweaty, just slipping all over the place. And
yeah,
because I'm getting ready for that tournament, other people are bringing their gis in as well. And I'm not gonna lie, it gives me a little bit of joy to see everyone else suffer as well.
struggling.
Because they were all putting like no one was happy about this. They all like begrudgingly tied it on. And I was like, I know I'm struggling, but everyone else is struggling with me. So, a win is a win. But you have a tournament, you have, just a little small tournament, to make your
Yeah.
debut. Where are you
In like
going?
7 days, I'm headed to Euros in Paris. Yeah.
That have you ever been to Europe before?
Well, I do the Dublin Open every year.
Oh,
I've
okay.
done it every year for the last, I think, 3 years. The Spring Open in Dublin.
Is it a big
Um,
tournament?
it's not huge, but it's got a pretty good turnout. Like
Okay.
so the schools from like England come over, and there's some other schools from the closer European countries.
Okay, cool.
Uh, so it's not small. I've always had an opponent,
That's
which is more than can
I
be
would
said for the US Opens.
Yeah, I would hope if you went all the way to Ireland, you'd have a match. But okay, that's cool. So you're going to why this one? Why was like this is gonna be my debut?
I didn't. My coach messaged me when they posted Euros and was like, do we want to take the team to Euros? Because we coach the white belts. We have a pretty good competition team
Okay.
of white and blue belts.
Mhm.
And he and I, we just took them to Jiu-Jitsu Con, and we take them to
Okay.
the big tournaments. We do them all as a team. And he was like, do you want to take the guys to Euros? And I was like, let's do it.
Like we're gonna go.
Yeah. And this was before
Okay.
I had my black belt. I was
Okay.
training, like I was getting ready for the brown belt division, and then
Hmm.
got my black belt. And I was like, well, shit, that's
Yep.
still going. Like,
What division do you compete in?
I am master two, super heavy.
Okay. Are there people in your backer? I'm pretty sure there's people. Do you have a
There's
couple of
5 of
matches?
us for Euros.
That's,
There's 5.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's a solid bracket for us.
Yeah.
That's
It was
awesome.
6. Someone dropped down to master 1 last minute, but it was 6.
Okay.
I think that's the first 6-man division I had seen in a master 2 super heavy women's.
Yeah.
I think that's the first, like that would have been the biggest bracket I had ever
Yeah.
seen. But I've had 5 at masters before.
Mhm.
So
I'm at the point now.
pretty good size.
I'm at the point now that now I'm master 1, and like nothing short of God coming back to earth will make me go back down to adult. And and everyone's like, no, you should do adult. There's nothing on this. Don't let me get to master 2, because then I'm gonna be unstoppable. Because that's gonna be my sweet spot. Because how long are your rounds at master 2? Are they 5?
They're 5, yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready to get to that good 5, because now I'm still having to do 6. No, don't want it. I'm gonna cap out a master 2. I don't care who comes and goes. But I will say, like, after hitting masters and then going back to doing like a local event here with I went down and did like the adult advanced division, and I was literally like, what am I doing here? What is
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have this bigger anymore.
I don't think you could pay me to do an adult division, especially like
They're
brown
insane.
and black. Like
They're
that's terrifying to me.
they're all in,
I
like,
don't
I was afraid of blue belts in
I
adult. I was
don't
afraid of some of these purple belts, because they're I always say this, like at a certain point when like, and I feel like I was this way too when I was in blue belt, especially when I was competing heavily at blue belt, like I was just ready to go. My mentality was so like, I am going to destroy, I am unstoppable. Something happened when I got that purple belt. I mean, first of all, it was the pandemic, so that slowed me down too. But once I hit, now I'm like 2, 3 tournaments a year. I'm good. I'm only doing IBJJF, so I know that someone will be there. I'm only going to do the bigger
yeah.
ones, so I know someone will be there. To be Coach Torrie otherwise.
Yeah. I coach the locals. Occasionally there'll be a black belt or a
Mm-hmm.
brown belt that's like, do you want a match? I'm like,
Yeah.
she's 22. I'm gonna not
I want to say no.
sacrifice myself that way. Uh
Yeah, no, I don't even blame you. Yeah, I'm ready to move into that elder stateswoman role. And what's really crazy is like I've been doing about 9 years now, and it's funny to see. I think of it as 9 years, but I don't think of it as people that I literally met at when they were like 12
yeah.
are now like engaged to be married. Some of them are going to college. Like, and I sat and thought with it, because I think one of the girls from Central Florida, she is like, oh, I'm gonna wrestle at college at this place. And I'm sitting back like, she's an orange belt. How could she be going to college? Like,
Right.
what's happening? It's like, oh, I'm old now. Okay, I've been here because I'm the
Yeah.
older person in the room. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Aging in jujitsu is an interesting feeling. I feel like while my knowledge is increasing, my body is only decreasing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be peak form for much longer. I got a couple more good years in me.
I'm gonna compete as long as I love competing. I've always
Mm-hmm.
loved competing.
Mm-hmm.
I love coaching.
Mm-hmm.
My coach is better at coaching. I don't know if he's better or louder, but he's more effective
Yeah.
in coaching, and I love doing it. He's just better. So I compete. I coach where he tells me to coach. But I'm there. I'm always in there for the competition. I've always loved competing. I've been competing since the whole time. I'm competing the whole
Yeah.
time. I love it.
I don't
Hold on.
know. Go ahead.
Ugh, this
Adjust.
pillow's killing me.
Love your shirt says savage on it. That's awesome.
Right?
I don't know if I love competing or I like to win. And I have sat with that for a very long time because I don't mind losing. Like I can take a loss, but I do things. I'm like,
Yeah.
but like the act of competition, like, oh, I hate the feeling I get beforehand. I hate the stress that I put on myself. I hate walking to the bullpen. I hate when my feet first touch the mat and I look at this other person like, oh, she's going to try to hurt me. I honestly I battle with, do I like love the physical exertion aspect of even training? But like at the same time, I've never been disappointed or like saddened that I competed, but like
Mm.
it does not fill me with joy. I'm not like, yes, let's go compete. I'm like, let me plan a competition
I'm
like
that
6 months in
person.
advance. You are?
I'm that person. My guys are like, sure, I want to do this tournament. I was like, let's go. Um, I love the fight camps, like
Mhm.
as torturous as they are. I always say it's not a fight camp until I cry in the gym. Um, and I hit that for master or for Euros. I hit that last week
Yeah.
crying in the gym. I love the fight camp. I love the worst part for me is the nutrition. Like I need to eat. I'm not
Eat
trying
better.
to like cut weight or hit, but I try to um I try to like adjust my diet so I'm not eating
Yeah.
garbage so I
Yeah.
can actually like
Yeah.
train.
You move different, you
That's the
feel
worst part
better.
for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the worst part for me. Just trying to make sure I feel good in the gym. But
I
the travel, the hotels,
I
the
hate
the
traveling.
teammates,
I
everything. I love all of it and always have.
I would much rather go to be my team's hype person than compete myself.
I'm a good
Um
cheerleader too.
yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
love I mean like that's literally all I do with the Dames is cheer people on. I am all to be the hype person. I that's why I always plan out my tournaments ahead of time. So like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. My gym is a super like they compete. We have one guy who this dude competes every other weekend. Like he is always competing. So when you're in that kind of environment, it does kind of like encourage you to, oh, I want to compete, I want to compete. But I think the one thing that I do like, because our competition classes are just brutal. I like, let me cut this back. I do not like physical exertion, but I like knowing that I can get right to that point and still push a little bit more. And knowing that I can do that, with my weight and my height, when we go to competition, I get a little crazy when I'm coaching though. When we go to a competition, like I'm the one screaming, "You are not scared." Hmm?
Yes.
Because like you see them kind of settle. I was like, "Wait, I'm set." Hmm? Like, meanwhile, when you see my competition with Gee, I'm literally like, "Let me just sit here for a second, take a breath." But I like knowing that like if need be, I know I can push past a certain level of intensity because I think being bigger and like I don't know if it's being bigger or being a woman, which one of those kind of plays more into the point, but like I feel like I was very tentative compete practicing early on. And I still kind of fall into that sometimes, even now teaching. Hello, cat. Hi.
This is Kaka.
Hi. It's like I was not acknowledged, so I need to like just
So drive
acknowledge
by.
me. There you go. Um, I felt that like every now and then, especially even like teaching and showing people who are most of the time significantly smaller than me, I kind of ease off a little bit. So I like knowing that when I have to, when I need to just go crazy. And that's what like I like a
Right.
competition class because sometimes it takes me a little time to warm up to like, do I even want to go all out today? And there's always this moment like, oh, we're doing this. Let's go.
It was not your decision.
No, it's like even though it's not bad, it's like someone can do one thing or you can move a certain way or you can get a certain position. You're like, oh no, yeah, we're about to go in. I'm like, are you good? What we about to let's go.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so let's talk a little bit about the seminar we're going to be doing. So we're going to North Carolina. Our wonderful wonderful host, Shell Shock Jiu Jitsu, has opened their doors to us. We got some great ladies down there who we're going to train with too.
So
Um,
excited.
yeah, me too. I actually went over there to train for the first time in last year in April. My
Yeah.
girlfriend had a tournament she won, not a tournament. Jesus, she doesn't. No, she does not do jujitsu. She had a concert she wanted to go to, and as soon as I saw, I was like,
Mhm.
somebody over there. So I got to go up there and train. Um, but so we're gonna do this. This is gonna be a dual competition. Competition. Jesus, my brain is all over the place. It's a dual seminar, so we're gonna be doing gi and no gi. I don't know. We're gonna have fun. I think this is gonna be good. I like
Yeah.
tournaments. Not tournaments. Why? See, now you got my head stuck in tournament mode.
My
I can't
fault.
turn
My
it
bad.
off. What I wanted this to be is a seminar with heavyweight instructors showing things that actual heavyweights can do. I feel like
Yeah.
one of my I've been fortunate to be able to go to a lot of seminars, to go to a couple camps, and I always like when I see someone my size as an instructor and as like the person they're showing things on. Because I feel like a lot of times when it's a bigger person, sometimes they're showing on a small person, or the coach, even if the coach is a decent size, they always pick someone who's smaller. I want to see two big bodies. Show me the technique with someone else who was like, plus
Right?
160, 170. So that was really important for me. So I'm really, really excited for that. And plus, the other thing that like I subconsciously did, which I didn't realize, is me and you are like different heights. Just,
Just a
just a
little.
couple, just a couple inches. But I kind of like that because I like to show that like heavyweight is a very, very wide range. Like super heavy is a very wide range. I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
You're a
I'm five
little.
one.
You're 5'1". Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I'm a little shorter. That's
A
why I'm
little
sitting in
shorter.
this chair, like trying not to shrink away. I am tall.
There you go. Well, but that's good too because we want to show some techniques for like shorter people who are still classified as heavyweight, and some. I mean, I don't know how many people who are sitting like me, but there's somebody out there. Um, but it is important. I feel like in our division, there's such a diversity of size that a lot of other people
Yeah.
don't get.
A lot of the other divisions don't see it,
Mm-mm.
that kind of diversity, because
Mm-hmm.
our division, it's 178. If you're looking at IBJJF, it's 178 and up. So like you've got
That's
somebody
wow.
180 against somebody who's 340. I've seen that.
Listen, I'm pushing.
Um,
I'm 290 right now. So like sometimes I'll especially, and I've lost a lot of weight since I came back. But my tournament when I in pans, I came in at pans right around 350, and I was
yeah.
like, and then you look at someone's like, are you 200 pounds? Are you 200 pounds? So like it can be like I said, it can be like a dramatic weight difference.
The
And
locals is even more, like the local tournaments.
oh
So usually
yeah.
like 158. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like it's one thing to like have a good technique, and then like it's another thing to have your technique be solid and someone just have another person on top of it. Like it's two people in one that you're competing
Yeah.
against. So like
Yeah.
it's a thing. So I'm really excited to be able to show some solid techniques. I will give everyone the forewarning now. I tell everyone this who I train with, who I roll with, who I show moves with. I am basic. I am so aggressively basic, you might think I'm joking. I have the same general blueprint of what works for me that I've had since white belt. It's just got like little bit fancier and a lot bit meaner. So like expect basic but like detailed basic things from me.
Yeah. I have some lazy, I call them lazy. I call it lazy jujitsu just because I don't like to expend energy. I don't like to do too much. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs
Mm-hmm.
to be effective. It needs to be
Yes.
mean, and
Mm-hmm.
it just needs to get the job done.
Yeah.
But I have some fun thing. Get out of here. I have some fun things that I like to do that work as a heavyweight that make you
Mm-hmm.
the like some
Mm-hmm.
highlights with them. Things
Good.
like that. So, like
Also, y'all just go ahead and be ready because you're gonna do some takedowns with me. Just go ahead and be ready. We're doing some stand up. Um okay, so as we're gonna wrap up, I just want to ask you a question. So What's one thing that you wish someone would have told you, not even like your first year, but like 2, 3 years into training? Because I feel like we're enthusiastic to begin with, but like once you start settling in this life, what is like something you wish someone would like, hey,
Oh Lord. Um, as an older grappler, not necessarily just as a heavyweight, the young guys are supposed to beat you. Like
I'm so glad you said that.
just because you have a purple belt, brown belt, even black belt does not mean that you suddenly have magic powers to overpower a 23-year-old guy
Full
who
of
lifts weights five
testosterone.
days a week.
Yeah.
Like I do not have to feel bad when that 20-year-old like
Mhm.
powers through me through my
Mhm.
defenses, and
Mhm.
it's not that important. They're supposed to beat you. They are
Yeah.
10 years younger than me. They are 1,000 times more athletic than I ever have been or ever will be. It's supposed to happen. Don't feel
Yeah.
bad. I don't need to feel bad about
Yeah.
23-year-old 180-pound power lifter beating me.
Listen, we have a guy at our gym who's like, God, he's only 19. And every time he tells me he's 19, it really messes with my entire way of being.
Shut up.
Yeah, just this massive man. And like, he's a purple belt. And he just, not even him, like, we have blue belts who are like, just like, you just look at them and like, do your muscles have muscles? And they just destroy me sometimes. Like, I can hold my own. And other times I'm like, yeah, I got nothing from this position. And
Yeah.
I learned to, I think it was like around not blue belt because I still have my ego about me. Maybe like purple belt. I was like, you know, it's fine. You can completely win this one. I am not going to fight you on it. I I would like I tie into what you say is that like do not tie your self-worth into every role because like
Yeah.
there's going to be days that it is absolute trash.
And
They're going
there's always someone better than you. Like
yes.
just because you have a black belt or a brown belt doesn't mean a lot. There's always someone better.
Honestly, and I think I don't know who I saw say this, but they were talking about this whole idea that like jujitsu and like some combat sports, these are like the only ones where this idea that like as you get older, you're only going to consistently get better. That's not true. Look at any like NBA team, look at any football team. Most of the people there are young for a reason. Like
Yeah.
you're at your athletic prime, you should be doing better. Like I should be getting demolished by like a 6'3" blue belt. Like yeah, who's like muscles on like they should. And I feel like also there's a thirst at the beginning that I'm not saying that it diminishes, but like there's something about those first 2 years, the two belts that like you just and you're learning so much, so you want to do so
Yes.
much that like yeah, just chill out. I always say that, just chill out. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great chatting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we wrap this up, do you have anything else you got going on besides, just going to Euros? That
I get euros. There's not. I have a couple of self-defense things that I teach. I teach self-defense in this area. I have been doing it for like 8 years. Anytime I teach self-defense, it is free, and it's usually an organization that's putting it together.
awesome.
So I've got a couple of self-defense things on the books. And then our mountain women's Meredith's gonna kill me, but it's a Maryland Mountain Women's Jiu-Jitsu
Okay.
camp. It's a camp hike. It's jiu-jitsu hike jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So we do a session in the morning. We go hike. Last year we hiked to a waterfall. And then we come back
Ooh.
and do jiu-jitsu in the evening.
Okay. Is it like
It's a
a
super fun day.
so it's one day thing?
One day, 4 hours
Okay.
of jiu-jitsu split into 2 hours,
Okay.
with a hike and a lunch in the middle. We
Nice.
did it last year. This year we have, I think we have a female wrestler coming to do a session as well.
Ooh, that's
So we're gonna
awesome.
get some wrestling in this year.
Good.
And then Mighty Dames.
That's so awesome. That's
Pans.
so
Pans
awesome.
is in on the horizon too. I haven't
So I'll
registered yet, but
see. Okay,
Pans
I'll
is
see.
coming
I
too.
haven't done it either. I haven't. I just got my I just switched over my
Register.
ranking thing because I completely
Oh
forgot
yeah.
that I had to do that. I literally went to sign up. I was like, not kettlebell anymore. Let me go through this process. But yeah, so everybody remember we have our first stop in the Mighty Seminar series. We're going to be going to Shell Shock Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm not going to pronounce the name correctly, in North Carolina. Tickets are on sale right now at themightynames.com. They are $30. We don't want price to be an issue for you guys. So please make it down there. It's going to be a couple hours of jiu-jitsu, couple hours of talking, some chatting. We're going to have some cool gear there that you can purchase as well. Let me definitely give a shout out to Sam and her hubby from Shell Shock to inviting us down. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have, I don't care about y'all. I'm about to have a good time. So we've been going on the road and doing seminars outside of Florida and being able to reach little pockets where we have some dames floating around has been something I've always wanted to do. So I'm really excited to do it. And remember, this isn't just for heavyweight women. Everyone's welcome. The big thing is we got heavyweight women teaching. We will definitely have some bigger bodies on the mat. I'm always, like I said, if I am there, I'm down to roll for anyone who asks me to. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time is going to be had on February 17th.
So excited.
I am too. So thanks everybody. Make sure to follow Char on her Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Char Dixon. Easy.
Simple enough. I can't say anything. Mine's literally Torrie O'Neill, so it's not like we were really stretching there. Make sure if you can go through and give Shell Shock Jiu Jitsu, give them some love, give Sam some love. I think hers is Wolf Queen MMA. Definitely, because they didn't invite us over, but they did. So yeah, we will see you guys soon.
Awesome.
All right, girl. Thank you so much.